Okay. Okay. Hello, YouTube. Starting our stream today, finally on Act 4 with this character. Haven't got to play much over the last week, but we're just entering to Act 4. Something. Sorry, the interlude. We finished Act 4 yesterday, sorry. I don't know where my mind was there. We are in the interlude. See how well I hold up with all the resistance penalties just getting in. We're carrying a lot of gear from Act 1 and 2. I think mainly Act 2 and 3, really. But haven't really had the greatest luck on this character here. So I'm starting to have some pretty big mana issues.
I'll take it.
Oh, my stomach poison. My eyes feel wonky and dry today. I'm gonna stay focused. Doing the plant-based druid is basically, the food spells and repeat. Now I am adding in the bone storm for bosses. It is just so strong. Huge difference on finishing power with bosses when I'm using bone storm. Ridiculous. It is a physical based spell, so it fits right along with everything else you're doing. And my DPS is a little low. So I was looking for something to help. Never use Bone Stone with plant-based druid but it is a finish. So good. This channel, so I haven't really put any points on my channel skills yet. I might actually have a couple of more little trees I want to go down for increasing my spell base, but whoa, forgot about that. Get this man there. That's the bone storm. That just bone storm. Just one storm. I forgot all about that guy. But two not even fully charged bone storms just took him down. So it's rinse and repeat with your plant-based skills. You water them with thunderstorm, and then I also use my volcano and my bone storm for cover. Guys, thrashing vines when I need it, but I'm trying to be judicious a little bit because I am having major mana issues, and that is not awesome. My graphics are horrible, I'm not really sure why. Keep telling myself stop picking up Stroke of Wisdom, but I know I have thousands of that I need, but I just can't stop doing it.
Wild take hold! Nature's fury!
So still not hearing a lot of news about the expansion that's supposed to be out in a couple weeks. Hoping it's in a couple of weeks, maybe 3. We're being very tight-lipped, I think. That's something that came out recently that I haven't heard about. I was hoping we would get another character license, but new class would be nice. If there isn't a new class, then I'll probably just level up the plant-based Druid to in-game on the X-Pack, try the New England, and then a Mercenary and a plant-based Druid are great. Just stick to those three. I like it more. But, like everyone out there, I'll probably try Everclass like usual.
Talent restored.
Man, my graphics are looking horrible right. And with my dry eyes, it's not helping. I'm hoping it doesn't look that we do that. It's too bad. I wonder. I have my settings set pretty low. Like really low. Frame rate's right. Everything is right. For some reason, I can't get my NVIDIA to be available, which is irritating because I think I'm suffering. And you saw there, 2 elites were out, so I just went ahead and popped both of my channels, so I'm okay. And my bonus now. Just keep moving. Dealing with my mana issues. Luckily, I have hitbox mana, and they replenish pretty quickly as you kill these. So don't be afraid of cycling through your pots. It's like I've been training myself since day one to pick those things up, and now I feel bad. Even without thunderstorm watering them, the entangling roots are entangling vines. It's actually powerful enough to kill any of these lesser ones by itself. This is back. I do love clearing out each zone that I go in. I think it's the FOMO thing. Afraid I'll miss something if I don't look at the whole map. Weird, right? Because we passed the exit a while ago, and I just want to kill everything. And you do notice I am running werewolf. I haven't given a lot of love on my spirit yet, but I think I'm probably using that. I was thinking about using cast on crit, but with my major mana issues, I don't want cast on crit kicking off every time until I set that out. So instead right now, I leveled. Nice. Now, what I was going to do, where was I going to put these points? I was going to put points over here into increase spell damage and poison on hit, and then down here on increased damage. I've already got all the plant-based skills pretty much filled up, except for Fisher over the splitting ground, which I'm tempted to go down to. But for now, I'm thinking about first picking these up because I really want to add poison to my damage, and a poison on hit would be nice. So if I look at this right now, my DPS is only 1771 for entangled. that brought it up 30 points, right? So that was a nice little increase. My Bone Storm is at 8,200 now, so that got a big one too. And like I was saying before, I use Entangle. This is a Spirit Gem Briar Patch, but I don't think I'm getting much out of it. Thunderstorm to water my plants. My second plant base is Thrashing Vines. And then my Bone Storm and Volcano are usually for bosses. But as I'm going through the map, I'm trying to trigger them as much as possible just for the muscle memory. Get used to cycling those in. So if you haven't played Plant-Based Druid yet, you're missing out. Really easy to build. Basically, you go Oracle Druid. Now, we haven't seen anyone run Oracle with it. Not saying you can't, but the reason you do Oracle is two good reasons. And I'll show them as soon as we play up this path. Okay. Is because with Oracle, okay, you get the Unseen Path. And what that does is open up all these paths off the skill tree that no one else gets to see. For instance, I'm picking up these right now, spell damage and poison. No one but the Oracle could pick this up. So that's one reason. You see, I usually don't use most of those, but like this is an Unseen Path. All your plant-based skills and the Bone Storm are physical damage. So you're looking at physical increase. So all these really pump up my physical damage. I will come over here and end up picking up others that you see are kind of this purple line. That's the Unseen Path skill tree. So that's the first reason. Second reason, on my next ascension, I will be able to get inevitable criticals. And what that means is every time you cast a spell that could have been a critical, it will keep re-rolling that behind the scenes until it crits. So you're going to crit almost every time. Every time you cast one of these spells, and for instance, if you look at Entangle, it spreads out 3 different fissures at a time. Each one of those fissures pops off a plant-based attack that is AoE over time. It's going to crit every time you cast that, and you can cast 3 of those 3 branching fissures at the same time. So your crits are just going to escalate. Really, really nice build. I really don't follow a build that. To me, this is just per second. So what that means is I'm not min-maxing, right? There's probably a lot of builds out there way better than mine. So when you look at mine, I'm not saying copy this, right? I wouldn't say that. But all I did was if you put in your search plant, you'll see your plant-based skills that you bump those up. So first thing I do is erase right up here and fill this out. Then I usually skip right over to here and get this. These are all plant-based skills. And then on the Unseen Path, I take these physical damage nodes, area damage, physical damage. Again, is this min-maxing? I don't know. It's just common sense to me, so that's what I did. And then I'm going to come in, like I said, for these spell damage, and then I'm going to come over here for the increased overall damage. That's a big one. 30% increased damage. My minions, sure. I think my wolves are considered minions. If I'm wrong, let me know, but I do believe they are. So that means a few things. First of all, you notice I haven't put any points in the defense at all. No energy shield increase. And I am feeling that. I am an energy shield build, and my energy shield is pretty weak. So once I get all the damage nodes filled up that I want, I probably will have to go in and really, especially for the end game, bump up my energy shield a little bit just for some defense. because this build you will be pulling whole screens. You're going to be just pushing this damage out. When I get my mana issues fixed, I'm basically going to be just button smashing my plant-based skills with Thunderstorm and just walking as it's killing everything behind me. Can't do that as effectively as I want now because of my mana issues. And I'm being a bit weak about it. So let's try again. I'll just start playing. With the stupidness. And I count on my kill rate. I can keep pumping up. I can just keep pumping, replenishing my mana with my kills. Oh, right. This is great. Probably want to try this walk through that. Major lag. So a whisk on a rip. That's nice. Enjoying that. Another boss. A bit of bone storm in here. Ignoring the lag that I'm having from the tank. Serious lag where I can't even see where I'm going and I don't really focus. Oh my god. I can't even see. I am lagging so bad. Dead. Alright, let's try that again. We should be right there. That was, I hate whisks so bad. I think that might be the first time I've had a whisk interact. Okay, rip. I'm not really good. I didn't even see how much XP I lost. Did my rip come on? So you just huge losses, man. And part of that is because I do have, I think, +4 to all my spells. So you do get a lot more DPS that way, but it is definitely mana. So you'll see on my spells, let's check it, +4 levels from global and +1 from support. So that's 5. And so that's supposed to be a level 18. That's actually a level 23 every time I cast it. So it's really going to my mana. Pump it up, and you see that just comes. Again, if you haven't tried the Dawn Storm with the Druid, give it a shot. You can move when you cast it. So, just like the lava, you do have to channel it to get the most out of it, but you can move while you cast it. get that information, especially with a boss. It really does make a lot of fun. So instead of having like a 5-minute fight, you're just kind of I definitely noticed a difference when I started. Look at all this. That might be able to be pumped up, but I got it. Starting with that low mark. Again, I'm definitely looking for anything that gives me a boost with my energy shield. All I'm finding is crappy evasion right here, which would be amazing if I was and I did start, I looked at the store yesterday for the trade money, and it's really expensive right now. A lot of people just aren't playing, so the things that are good, people are just putting it on the market for a while. And I'm not willing to spend my currency, because honestly, I'm probably going to and you can get through in game just with things you put up or things you buy. So again, if I was doing max, if I was in the expansion, it would definitely be there. The wolves are a nice little leash. They don't really cause a lot of damage, but I do have meat shield on there and oh, not really. Got some old stuff now. Great ones, but pre-order fucking there.
Come on out! Roots and skin! No mana!
Yeah, look at that. Alright, let's take a minute to look through this. 1075, not what I want. Energy shield 103, really low. I can look at it, but that's really low. I want at least 200, 250 or plus right now. A bunch of evasion rate and crap. One of the coffer. Good. A couple of orbs, couple of results. Now, I'm not playing this character in the league. I'm playing with character base. So I did notice with that, I'm not seeing any of the, what do you call it? Where are you going around to the new thing? I'm not seeing that at all. The base name. I'm running 14 times, and so sometimes I will see lightning everywhere and think that I have cast my lifetime, and then realize that we have to because everything's lightning, and that's all mostly 14 times. It's a decent damage, but just a because you don't have to do anything, it's just a jam. But you definitely always want to have your thunderstorm. Because we call it water in your plants, and what it does is it makes your plants bloom and explode and you see all that purple? That's from the thunderstorm water. So if my DPS is a little bit higher, I would just cast both of my spells, one thunderstorm. Finding right now I can't do that with max. That's okay. Other than the time that I've been down, I seem to get rid of relatively. Well, let's be honest. We all don't. I don't understand how people play hardcore. That is amazing to me when I see guys up in the 90s on hardcore, meaning they have never died once. And then I feel real bad for them when they're like level 96 or 98 and their character dies and they lose in POE. I couldn't do it. That would be too heartbreaking to have a character you really developed, you like, you build up just the right way to get to the high level in game. And then one silly mistake, and silly mistakes on your account, where you feel like you're trapped, you can't get out, boom, and you get dead. So I love watching those guys, and what they're doing, I just don't want to do that. That's crazy. Put on my 2 big channeling spells, just help out there, knock him down. My plans could have taken him down, but it would have taken him. So I am tempted to put a bunch of points into my channeling stuff. Because there are a couple of significant ones. If I go back to the skill tree, right off the Druid skill tree, right here I think. Channeling damage and speed. 8% increase, 12% increase, 12% increase, 25% increase to the damage of those channeling spells. And those channeling spells hit like trucks. And so the skill speed increase too. There's a couple of nodes that do this for channeling. And so I'm thinking I may do that instead of pumping up my energy shield, but it's going to depend how hard it is to walk around maps. Right now, just starting the interlude, I do notice a huge significant decrease in my safety because my gear is crap, and my resistance is just got, what is that, a 60% penalty? I did check the vendors as soon as I walked into the interlude. Did they bump the drop rate of the orbs? Because I don't know why, but I don't know if I've ever seen any orbs dropping just off random kills. I know it's different for other characters. Some characters you find a lot of something, and with other characters you never see it at all. That RNG that we kind of have a love-hate relationship with in this game. But man, I'm having a lot of orbs dropping on this character, just with random mobs.
The solstice draws near, but the owls bring me worrisome tidings.
And another thing is the
of
runes.
erratic
I've seen a
behavior,
lot of runes.
of whispers in the night.
My kin died by
Now
the
she
spirits will. You'll die by
historically has
mine.
been a jerk one.
What a beast to ye! It's no spirit!
So I'm gonna put out my sons. Keep my plans going on here. Keep my plans going.
You defy the very spirit itself.
No mana!
Get my mana going.
Spirit guide my spirit.
And bone form.
Kill your kin and get what you deserve!
That's right, she did what she deserved. Plus 40 maximum spirit. See, and here's my question, is I cannot remember what spirit gem I should be running on this, and I can't use this select yet because I've got to be level 58. But so right now I'm running Briar Patch and Wolf Pack, and I don't think I'm getting much out of Briar Patch. And I don't want to look up what other people are doing right now, just because I can't remember. And I keep coming back to cast on critical, but Air of Thunder might be decent. Even Wind Dancer might be nice. Interesting. That if I was picking that up, I would want to pick up nodes for increasing my chance of bleeding the target. But I think most of those are way off the chart for me. Now, if I did a poison, does poison build go off of the plague, or is that just... Yeah, it does. So I wonder if I bump up my poison enough, if running Herald of Plague might be beneficial too. But so Chaos, Herald, Persistence. Doesn't have a weapon that you're required to use. Any martial weapon, so I can't do it with my staff. I don't think I can do it with my staff. Yeah, can't use the staff. So, okay, so both of those are out unless I switch weapons, which I'm probably not going to do. So I get back to cast on crit, right? I don't do any elemental damage for the most part. That might be good. Non-channeled spells gain 4% of damage as extra lightning damage for each 100 maximum mana you have. But that also increases the cost of those spells by 6.7%. I would need to play with that. Even mana remnants might be a boost to me with my mana issues right now. So I want to come up with something different that I haven't done before. But there's the big one. Cast on critical. Gains 1 energy for every power enemies you critically hit skills. It just, what would I run in that cast on crit? Probably pair it with some sort of lightning spell, I guess. I don't know. So up to this point, I really haven't given a lot of thought to it, and I need to start thinking about that. Most of the bosses in the interludes are not that hard. Most of them are pretty easy, actually. So, I really start getting a lot of fun with this once I get to the end game. And even then, maybe when the gym plus the math, it's pretty easy. If you have your gear up and you get your rotation done, you find I've not in class yet, but it's can't do it. And that's coming from someone who is not the best player of this game. So it's not a skill issue that I'm talking about. It's just once you understand what you're doing in this, it's really not that difficult. I don't think most people would say that. That's also part of the reason I wish they would let us have an option to do it again. And just as an option, not mandatory. I think the problem they had last time they got the in-game cool mode, and let me tell you, it's really well on the cool mode. They were just legit hard. Getting through some of them, like that, was so hard. But I think a lot of us would like the option, especially if you get an achievement, or say you get to the mode, you get a set of gear that no one else has. I think a lot of people do. And that's why I run the most. He was going to be a really tough kill, I can tell. So I layered up all my plans and just throwing storm in my ass. Yeah. I am noticing my poisoning is getting on pretty well now. So there's a couple little points of poison there. Every time you see that bar on the enemy go green, my poison is kicking on. That's really DPS. I don't want to come up here. yet, but those mobs kind of pulled me. I'm gonna go down here to the cave. Get points. And that is one thing I have tried to do. Is each time I know, hey, this area gives you 2 skill points, I try to do that area first. Just to get those extra skill points on my side. Like, I would never tell anyone how to play, I just tell you how I play. I'm trying to hope maybe you can get some advice. I was not a POE player. I have played it, I wasn't a big fan of it. And so coming into POE 2, my daughter started talking about it. And at that time, it was like, this is supposed to be one of the most difficult games in the world. I'm going to play it. It might be a challenge. Let's check it out. I was apprehensive because I did not like the gameplay of POE 1 at all. Was not a fan. I know that's antithetical to most folks, but I'm just going to tell you what I truly think. I thought it was a really country game last night. But I have been pleasantly surprised with POE 2. I think Grinding Group Games have done an amazing job. It's quickly become one of my favorite games. And I've been playing games since the very early 80s. So I was one of those kids playing Pong and the beginning games at the time on the first consoles that came out. And then of course arcades. And this game to me is just so well done. The storyline shows, the leveling is amazing. I hate the end game, don't like it at all. I do enjoy getting through the level 15 maps and doing all that. To me, that is a lot of fun. But then after I do that, I just get bored with doing the same maps over and over and over again. So I really don't trouble with them. And I think I get the feeling from what I'm seeing people do that are streaming is some of these really good gamers will play 3 or 4 different classes at a time and level up in just such a different class. Wondering if that's kind of the feeling that everyone has. It's just the in-game isn't worthy. It isn't worthy of this game. This game is so good, and I know it's in beta, right? So it's not saying that Grinding Group Games is doing anything wrong, because it is still in development, literally. We're just testing it. But in-game as it is now, it just isn't worthy of this game. This is too good of a game to have that kind of game. So that and crafting are still my major complaints. Hate the crafting system as well. But you're not going to like everything about every game that you play. It could be your most favorite game, and you're still going to have something you like. And I was really surprised. I was on Twitch the other day and streaming, because I'm a brand new streamer trying it out. And so many people were coming into the room saying, hey, what game is that? It looks awesome. What game is that? They didn't even know about the game. And then I started thinking, have I seen any advertisements done for this game? Any of them? And I don't think I have. Now I know, I think December was supposed to be the time that the official game comes out. But I'm wondering if they're just going to rely on their hardcore players, the players that love Path of Exile, to kind of spread the word until the official game comes out this year. I think it's supposed to be December, but don't quote me on that. It could be later. But I know we're supposed to have the expansion, I heard, in May, the first week of May, maybe. And then August is what I heard is the next expansion.
You're not the only
I am lagging on every boss. there because I was doing my bonus. Not perfect, but he went down easy enough. So, nicely cuffed. Nothing. So, I'm gonna go ahead and run right back right away. Turn this in.
Well, look, perhaps we can be strong.
Hunt like it's your last.
Okay, got my 2 points to finish out my poisons. And that 12% damage is extra chaos damage. I'm thinking could be pretty big. Could be wrong, but I think so. Now I'm torn. Should I go ahead and try to increase my channeling skills, or should I do my plan first of coming up for the increased damage here? Because 30% increased damage, that's damage for everything I do. And I could have that filled out in 5 more levels, which might be better than just coming up here. Because I could fill that out first and then come over here and start getting my channeling skills.
How can
Identify this crap. Physical damage, critical hit chance. Too good, that's a spear. I just don't think I'll be able to get that up. Plus 39 spirit's decent. Energy shield is way too low. I want well over 200 on that. So that's just vendor trash.
This is what you need.
Oh no, not that. I want to put that in my... And my bags are all messed up because I'm not playing on the league. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with that. Can't use the level 14 yet, so.
What is it?
Oh, let's check him over here. Only 1 staff. So what I'm looking for is currently with my staff, it's not a great staff, but it has plus 3 level of all spell skills. So I'd love that to be a 6 or a 7, something really high. So every time I have a chance, I walk over here and check and see. I am thinking about, I've never done wand with a plant-based druid, but if I can get like a plus 3 to all skills on a wand, and then pair that with a really nice focus or a scepter on the offhand, that could give me an opportunity to do another thing I'm thinking, which is a minion build. So if y'all think I'm crazy, let me know. But I was thinking that would be a fun build to run werewolves, minions, my plants, and just really be causing physical damage, just do ES again, so energy shield. So run energy shield, and then plant-based with a minion build. I think that could be pretty powerful. I don't know if anyone's tried that yet. I definitely want to run a couple hundred spirits to really make it worthwhile. But it would almost be what the witch does with plague, right? You're running plague, you're standing behind all your minions, letting your spells do all the damage, as you have this huge army of meat shields in front of you. It's something I'd like to figure out. If that's viable. And why other, and maybe some other people are doing that, I just haven't seen it. But to me, that would be pretty fun. Up into my plants. Die. They want to cast the entanglement loop on me, I'll cast mine on them. I'm crashing mine. Crash gun. Thunderstorm. There. Anything good drop? No. Nothing. I even did some stupid this time where I was like, okay, do physical damage. Let's try a maul with really big, like 100% increase all physical damage. I actually did that for a few levels until one of the guys on my stream goes, hey, it's only for physical attacks. So I reread it again. I was like, hey, you know what? You're right. I'm not doing attacks, I'm doing spells. So switch right back to the staff. Fear of missing out. Let me clear the zone. No, I don't have to. Back up. Go up. Go up. My werewolves are dying quickly. Really have. They're taking part of my damage run, and I haven't put any spells in them. So, but they resurrect really fast, so it's not an issue. They are not causing a lot of damage, but they are being efficient. So they just grab them, and they explode and they don't cause any damage. So I have no problem with that. Might change my tune on that higher levels. Do that. Get physical. Getting physical. Physical stuff. What you got? The phone. Now, to be fair, I did see another two guys actually running a plant base. I didn't look at their skill trees, but man, they were looking really good. I think they had all their gems really optimized really perfectly, and they were just destroying the screen. That was harder than it needed to be. That's something buzz. I can't remember the guys' names, but man, if you look up plant-based Druid, you'll see some of their videos. They're really putting out really amazing damage. And I think they were 100% ES dead too, from what it looked like. And it was really, really impressive. What I'll try to do is I should get their names and at least tell you to go look at their channels. I was really, really impressed. And the main thing I was impressed with was their durability. Because right now I am not as durable. I take damage really fast. And if I don't really watch what I'm doing, I will die really quickly. But I didn't see them having any issues. And I'm thinking 15, 16 level mobs.
No mana!
Now, with that being said, I don't know how much their build costs. I think this is going to be the Druid as a whole is really popular because it's just so well done. But the plant-based Druid is so powerful. I think it's going to be very, very popular when everyone realizes how good it is. And that's going to raise the prices on all the gear. And unless, like, if you're like me and you suck at craft, I spend very minimal time trying to craft, then you're going to have to buy that gear if you want that really high level gear. 1200 ES plus. It's not going to be cheap. Here I'm just taking my time. I really don't understand the mechanics of this thing. I just sit there and kill him. I don't know what that mechanic is. Never have. I just know he goes into some weird situation there and you just kill through it as he's doing nothing. I don't know if I've ever died to that guy. Really a weird mechanic.
Oh, that kind of cold that seeps into your bones.
Like, I'm going to shield myself with ice so you can still kill me. See, all those guys, the aggro is full fun on this. Again, I could probably spin that on a better spirit channel. But it's working, so if it works, I don't know. You're probably thinking, but I've already seen you guys do this. Okay, the battle time. Okay. Just resurrect, come back down again. Not taking so seriously the video game. What I tell my kids though, why you don't need a console? It's not going to be, it's not going to help that. Although nowadays it might start talking back, right? So I had something, speaking of AI and Warcraft, I have an open claw that I play with during the week, and having been doing a few things for me. And yesterday he produced a video for me. It was a little short, and I can't choose it.
Let's have a gander.
And so I was watching the video before I told him to publish it on YouTube. And as the video was playing, Siri opened up on my phone and started talking back to me without any prompting from me. That freaked me out. Siri, of course, it's always on my phone. And I was watching the video, the short, on my phone. And Siri started answering back to my AI's video. Like, that's a very good idea. Yes, I understand your argument there. But, and just talking back. Weird. I don't know if he said something that sounded like "Hey Siri" to her, or whatever we were supposed to say to Siri nowadays. But I never use it. But I just look like holy crap. And since I never use Siri, I was like almost like, where's that voice coming from? What is that? And until I realized, and then it freaked me out. So what do y'all think of that? I'm sure there's a bunch of stories like that now with all of us are playing with AI. Now, I'm a white-collar worker for a day job. And all I hear when I listen to people like on Moonshots talking about AI is, Hey, your job's going away. Oh, just so you know, your job's going away. In the next year, your job's going to be replaced by AI. So I have been really making sure I'm learning AI and having to do some small projects for me, like its own video channel and books and things like that it's doing. But at this point, I still don't think it's good enough to do it by itself, so I approve everything it does before anything is published online. Because when all is said and done, yes, it's an AI, but it's done under my name. So I'm really cautious. I don't want to put out anything stupid that can give me
You're here while the winter I have from here, then I should be
yeah, show me what you have. Okay. Don't want those. Don't want that. 131% increased evasion and energy shield. Now, I don't have that one yet, so I could get that just to put in my bank. Equipment has no attribute requirements. What? Oh, that's a helmet. That's not even a shield, that's a helmet. So that's not what I want, but... Okay, if I'm running... like a ranger... Lots of armor. Fat Graves Curse Artillery Bow. Fire damage 83 to 175. That might be a nice bow to put in my bank too. Level requirement of a 52. Grant skill level 13 Phantasmal Arrow. I don't think I've ever seen this type. Fires an arrow that embeds where it lands for a short duration. At the end of the duration, the arrow explodes in a spectral flame, turning it to ashes and damaging enemies with a high chance of ignite. Huh. Man, that makes me want to get... It's a level 52 requirement. But, see, what armor? None of these are for me. For this character. Yeah, all these are like fire armor based. So I'm not going to use any of them. So I might as well buy this and put it in my bank. So I'll just put that in my bank for another character. First time I've seen that bow. There's so many of those orange items. For a while I was just selling them. Just getting them out of my bank because I had too many of them. And now that I have the unique tab, I kind of want to do them all. Is this still up maybe? Mail. Now, sometimes though, low energy shield, armor, 10 to 75, crap. So look at the grades if you have time, because you can find a really good base stat, especially when you get to the higher level maps, that you can then play. Like 269 armor isn't bad for this level if I was doing like an armor based character. But imagine if there was like a 500 for this level. That's a great piece of gear you can start playing with and at least begin to start trying some of the crafting. Now to be fair, I haven't done any research on crafting like I should. Because I do think it is a pretty big part of the game, it's just something that I haven't spent time doing. But if you get pieces of gear like that, you might be able to make something really good, even if it's not for yourself. So sell on the player's market, especially when the league starts. Right now it's kind of dead. So. Just an idea. I know most of us, I think, just get to the habit of just walking by the great gear. Have time, check it out. But like usual, I'm getting a bunch of Ranger and a bunch of Merc gear, Warrior gear. I swear that's part of their algorithm. You get gear that's not part of your class. Come here. I can stop way back there. I don't know what's plans. Come on, you're walking too slow. Oh, wait. I do like checking out all the staffs, hoping and praying. So I filled that up, and I did decide I'm gonna come up here. Channeling skills would be nice. I want to pick up this first, I think. I'm so torn. Yeah, I'm gonna do this one first. Probably, I know, the wrong thing to do. Need to buff up strength for my next gen. But when I do have a chance, I pick these up and just say they're in a crappy spell damage increase, so that's bad. Crap. Not worth playing. But you will see them pop up. +2 spells. And if you see that, something you can start playing. Running.
Roast and stare you! Domination! Big on South!
.54 energy shield's real low too. Give me some big moments. Just like one piece of wood. Right. Yeah. I thought there was a boss in this one. I guess it's just next zone. Now the Escher Beam is a good place to
Oh, can finally feel my
get some
fingertips
extra
again.
XP. Man, I'm not seeing rifts in every zone. Pretty weird. Rifts were a nice little bonus for XP.
Take a thrust!
Those are gone. I'm not seeing. No, I'm not playing the league for this character, but I'm not seeing any temples. Not one temple. So since that's a new league mechanic, do they say, hey, if you're not playing the league, you don't sit? Kind of makes sense. That's the deal. And to be fair, when I first started this game, I really had no idea what I was doing. And last league with the Druid, or last two, I was really starting to figure out what I was doing. And so it became much easier. On my league stash, I have tons of real estate, lots of currency, and so I said, you know, well, if I'm going to restart the plant-based Druid, of course I'm going to use gear I have, right, to start that character out in the beginning phase. But I just didn't want to do it on the league right now because I have way too much really good gear to pump into it. It just wasn't going to be cheap. So I started them on the base game, what would we call that? Big AoE, still done all my AoE. Ah. So, but their lightning, my lightning, I can't tell who's lightning is who's lightning. Been getting lots of poison. Now when I do get my next point, I'll check and see. I don't think the first couple of nodes will affect my overall damage too much. And I think it's just like 10%. But still an increase. And then building up to that big 30% increase. Hoping to see some good numbers there, at least a few hundred equals. And when you're doing something like these nature spells with your fishers, you gotta multiply that by the amount of fishers you're putting out. So if it says, you know, like 1200 DPS, that's per fisher. That adds up pretty quick.
I'll turn you to scrap.
No. No. Oh, just that. It's so difficult. Hey y'all, what's up?
No mana!
Guys, these guys.
Wild! Take hold!
Up here casting this stuff. No. I'm not. But as I go through here, I'm able to just basically, on those minor characters, if I wanted to, just hold down the button. Alright. I do get it.
Come too far to let you stop me now!
Definitely not snow.
Way to the boat lies open.
Full base group. Should have had though. Big mistakes. Evasion rating, armor evasion, energy shield 17, crappy energy shield, not finding any buildings. Give or take. Give me one. Just one. This has got some major experience.
We'll soon see if Dariani's allies are as friendly
Oh,
as
his
he
allies.
says.
I hate them. What are they, sisters? They either die really easy, depending on the character, or they handle it.
Ancient light!
I think they were pretty easy with my other plant-based sword. But I'm old, I can't remember. Oh, holy. Right into your plants.
Nature takes what's old!
32 energy shield, just perfect.
Nature's craft!
55 support training. Okay. think that might be the first level 5 I found with this character. That's a good sign. Oh boy, another leaf. Clear up as they go around. So, do all physical attacks and spells cause bleeding if they crit? I haven't done a lot of research on that either. I've been thinking about doing a sort of bleed rate. So I have two issues. Most of the bleed increases are not close to my tree, so I have to go out of my way to do that. And I'm not sure what triggers bleed. So you know that, let me know. I think it's supposed to just be physical spells and physical attacks based on the crits that you do cause so much bleed. But could be totally wrong on that too. I always look at the staffs, I never know what's going to be on there. Ugh, crap. Alright. Yeah, treasure book. Open. Hey, I picked that up. Didn't I? Yeah, it's right there. Small circle. Why can't I access that? It's weird. There's a small circle that opens. Now that's one thing too, the reaping staff is physical for the most part, right? The spell reap. Yeah, it's a physical spell. So if I can find a reaping staff that has like a +4 to physical spells or more, I might be able to find a way to put reap into my rotation since I'm doing all physical damage. And most of my skill points go into physical damage. Now I don't know how that stacks with the reap spell. It is a spell, right? And so does it, like for instance, when I look at this one, level 13 Reap does 156 to 234 physical damage. Is that increased by my increase physical damage. So is that a base that's increased, or is that locked in because it's part of the weapon itself? Because if that does increase based on my increased abilities, that might be a stat I can use. But again, definitely something I want to play with if I can find one that has the fucking spells that I really need. I looked at the people in the call it auction house, but the trade house for players, and didn't really see anything there. But I kind of expected that since we are at the end of the league. Not a lot of people even playing right now, it feels like. It'd be great if I was using fire damage. Take some crash. Take some crash. What are you doing hunting over here? Come fight.
Another soul core.
Yeah, let's see if I can
Be another
open
door
the
leading
treasure
this, no
vaults.
doubt.
I never get anything good out of them, just nice to look. Good, really want to run all the way back to the treasure vault.
Ancient light.
I gotta work on this one. Alright. Anything good? Caliphate, no. Orange staff. Variation. Crossbow. 1075. 103 base on the gray. Ornament. I need about 2 trunk sets. Evasion trading. Focus. Nothing seems. How can every one of these, not one thing be? It has to be part of the racket. It's just so weird. And I don't expect gear to drop for me all the time. That's not what I'm asking for, but I haven't gotten this piece of gear in 4 or 5 seconds. And the last piece of gear I got, I bought from the vendor. And that was my staff with +3. So I'm getting so desperate, I'm even checking all the grades. Evasion. See? All of it. Starting to get frustrated. Oh, it's just a boss skill. Alright, so let's see how bad I get my butt kicked. Let's go. Don't be afraid of dying. And I'm lagging already. Every boss. I usually play on my PS5. And when I wanted to start streaming a couple weeks ago, I said, okay, let's start it on a computer. Because I can create videos from my PS5. But I really not sure how to streamline. I think you might be able to, but I just and so I thought, hey, it might be easier. From there. Lush there. Jeez. So much fat.
I will defend you, sister! How dare you! Power!
Bones going.
Your sacrifice is too great!
Alright, the bones one got it.
We submit! Didn't you hear me? We're supposed to be allies!
Yeah. Alright.
Fools! You see, assemble you. Let us meet.
Yes. Next time I tell you, this one, so I don't have to reach up. See you all in my hideout. So I think that was the end of the first interlude. Now again, you can do the interludes any order that you want. It's totally up to you. I like doing the first one first to get those quick 2 points on my skill tree. So usually I do that all the time. It's actually the third one on the way they're... Ugh. Alright guys, I'm going to stop the stream here and then I'll be back.